Hi everyone, welcome back to One Meal a Day Modified. Today's meal is a really yummy mix of what I consider to be a little beach, just a little beachiness in the winter time here in New England. And what I have in this bowl is a curry seafood, as well as some mixtures of rice. And this is my rice mixture. I actually buy a variety of rices myself. I try to buy organic rices, and I make my own rice blend. So there's wild rice, red rice, there's basmati rice, and there's another one in there that I can't recall. Wild red, basmati, and something else, don't know. But anyway, so there's like 3 rices in there, and that's what's in this blend. This seafood curry, I actually have baby shrimp, clams, as well as calamari. I have the tubes as well as the tentacles. Yes, I like the tentacles. And of course, pineapple. I actually purchased a whole pineapple and sliced it myself. And what I do with my pineapple is I let it get so ripe that you can smell it. And that usually means that the center is tender enough where you can eat it, so you don't have to really core it. And this is leftover from yesterday. I have some arugula as well as the mushroom in there, which I talked about that yesterday. So this is my meal for the day. One of the things that I was going to talk to you about today, and I definitely will, is about the negatives. I have a friend who's trying to get her health as wealth on, and she asked me, what do I find hard or, to be the negative points of doing one meal a day. So I wrote down a few things. One of them is going to be that you might become sick of water. So throughout the day, yes. I mean, some people consider this to be like an intermittent fasting. Unlike Casey, who's the vegetable police, I really don't do intermittent fasting. I do a version of it, but that's where the word modified comes into play. And you'll hear about that throughout all of my videos, how I modify things. He also modifies as well, but there are people who will go 23 hours without eating, and they will only drink water, or they might supplement with a different type of beverage, such as a protein shake or whatever, green beverage, whatever it is. And then for an hour, they gorge themselves. I mean, they can do it if it works for them, if it, is not a health hazard, more power to them. And they will eat probably 3 times as much as you see here for my meal. So this for them probably would be considered a small meal. So they will eat large quantities. The idea is that you can eat anything you want because you're only eating 1 meal a day. But you'll see some of their meals obviously are either nutritionally deficient or nutritionally deficient for a couple reasons. One could be they're just not eating the right foods. The other could be that they're missing certain food groups on a regular basis. So when you do this, you really, which could be a negative, have to be aware that you're hitting enough of the right food groups often. The other negative could be, which kind of relates to what I just said, is vitamin supplementation. So you might have to take, a daily vitamin, a multivitamin, which I would suggest. Talk to your doctors, obviously, before starting any new lifestyle change that has to do with diet, exercise, your medical situation, etc. Obviously, there are people who have special dietary restrictions or things that are mandatory. You need to be able to fit those into a plan like this as well. So once again, talk to a doctor. And that could also be a negative, is that, versus going to the doctor once a year, you should be working with a medical professional. And notice how I said medical professional, because it should not be someone who is at a clinic type place that is simply trying to charge you a weekly or monthly fee to either buy their processed foods or come to get weighed in and talk to other people. Like, you already pay for that if you have medical insurance, and that service is under your internal medicine doctor or general practitioner. So I suggest you talk to them. They know you best, and they also, have a relationship with you. So talk to them, during this process. So as you do this, I would say you should probably be seeing your doctor to get weighed in, to talk about, what's going on every 3 to 6 months. I know our medical plan would allow me to go to my doctor every week if I felt like it. So definitely check to see what your coverage is, because, that will affect how often you probably go see these people. The other thing is, which is water. So you might become sick of drinking water all the time, because technically that is really what you should be drinking throughout the day, and limiting other, beverages, whether they have sugar in them or not. I personally like to have at least one special beverage a day. I don't always have one special beverage a day, but I do allow myself that, just because I think that, first of all, your taste buds need something. Also, I think it helps reduce cravings for foods that are higher in fat, salt, etc. The things that, we should probably be reducing a little bit. And also, you're human. So as humans, we are salt, sugars, carbohydrate, meat seekers, whatever the case may be. So I think it definitely helps for me personally. And what I do is usually supplement with one of my energy teas, ginger ale, but look for a real ginger ale. I might even do an iced coffee on very rare occasion. Honestly, I can't even tell you the last time I had that. But in the summer, I'm sure I would have 1 or 2 of those over a week. So not every day. Another thing is 90%, and this is just me making up this number, so it may be different for you. But I would say 80 to 90% of the food that you eat on your 1 meal a day plan should be healthy. Technically, it should be 100%. But once again, we are human, so having a treat is not off limits. You can have whatever treat you like as long as it's in moderation. So, versus having a big bowl of ice cream, you have a cup and a half of ice cream. And it can be whatever ice cream you want, so it doesn't have to be plain. If you want a brownie, have a normal size brownie. But I know for some people, they believe that when they do this, they have to go 100% like vegan or carnivore or just healthy. And we know that that is not sustainable. We know that everyone occasionally wants a piece of birthday cake. For me, a negative is eating large quantities of food in one sitting, because it's 1 meal a day. As you note, I modify my plan. So for me, my 1 meal a day is what you see here. This will be spread out throughout the day. And technically, I probably will only eat from this like 2 times, maybe. But there are people, and for a 1 meal a day plan, this is actually probably considered to be a small amount of food. If you look at Vegetable Police, for example, Casey, who actually I was inspired just by his 1 meal a day idea. It's not his idea. It's something that's been out there since caveman time, when they can only find 1 meal a day. But just, looking at him, looking at his results, he does a lot of crazy like diet experiments that I would never ever do, but it's a free world and he can do what he wants. And I just hope he's, healthy and continues to become wiser. But if you look at his meal, and I can't remember what the name of his Asian friend, he has this dude that he met in Thailand. And my God, the transformation of those two guys, it's tremendous. I wish my husband would jump on the bandwagon himself. They have sexy, lean bodies. They're not overly built because, some of us just don't like the giant, hulky, scary weightlifter type. And then their like bellies have pretty much disappeared, and you can see like definition where they probably had some maybe when they were healthier, younger, and now it's back even though they're older. So like I said, that kind of inspired me even as a female to say, let me try this 1 meal a day thing. Because previous to this, I would do like small meals throughout the day, and that is a pain for me personally. So if you're someone who likes small meals throughout the day, you will find this to be a negative. But for me, like I said, a negative is really, I cannot eat large quantities of food in one sitting. I just can't do it. I just don't like it. I have way too many things to do. I have 2 businesses that we run, a household, a dog, etc. So I need the energy. If I could just, I guess, lay down and sleep for hours, then I could probably maybe do it. So, if your lifestyle is a certain way, then, maybe you can eat those large quantities at one time, but some of us just can't, or we just don't want to. The other thing that I found to be a negative is that, you are eating a bigger meal in a small, what I consider to be a small window of time. I'm honestly 100% used to it. So I would say the first month or so, it was like, oh, this kind of sucks, but it doesn't really suck because I'm getting amazing results. But now it's something I am completely used to. But like I said, some people may not be used to that. And they might find that to be a negative. The other is, I suggest a balanced meal, or it's as balanced as you can get it. So here I have, fruit, so fruit, veg, but also high in fiber, obviously high in fiber, also the addition of protein. And then you may even say, there's a variety of spices, so whatever benefits you're getting from that. And then, of course, once again, more fiber, this is in your veg, fruit and veg category. So I do think that for some people, it may be hard for them to find that balance. But because, for example, if you love curry, let's say that this is your thing right here, curry with rice. I don't believe, want a gigantic serving of this as your 1 meal a day. I think that what you want is the variety. So for some people, a negative will be finding that balance with the variety. The other thing that I found is that if, like, for example, because you should be working with a medical professional, one of the things that I found, my doctor actually found, is my vitamin B level was low, like really low. I've never had an issue in all of my decades with vitamin B, so it was kind of shocking. And, now I take a supplement for it, which is just, a vitamin you could buy in the store or in the pharmacy, whatever. But you may find that you have to supplement with supplements. So, you want to make sure you buy high quality vitamins. You want to make sure that they have the right ingredients in them. Other than mixing them themselves, obviously you're going to have to trust labels and obviously bring them into your medical professional whenever you have a doctor's appointment, or even if you're not sure of what to get, give them a call and they will give you guidance. And because my vitamin B level was lower or so low, I found that I was tired. So I needed to sleep more often. And it wasn't even more often, I just slept longer than what I normally did. Once I was up, and once I'm up, I'm up. But I found that I was like, you know what, I need to sleep for another hour or so. That sucks because I like to get up, get going, and I like living, I like life, I like rest as well. Sleep is very important. But once again, you need to make sure that's something that you're aware of as a negative. And finally, I feel that since I've been doing this for a while, that I get fuller sooner. So whereas previously I could definitely polish off like this bowl, no problem, eat some of this, eat some of that. Now I find that I'm probably not eating as much in one sitting because I think you just get fuller sooner. That's just me. And the reason I find it to be a negative is sometimes I just want to eat my meal, be done with it for the day, and move on. So those are my aspects as far as what I consider to be negative on one meal a day. There are a billion positives as well, and I'm sure there are many more negatives out there. So if you have anything that you think is a negative for you that hasn't been working, put that down in the comments below and we could discuss that in the future. Also, please remember to subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscription button. There's a little bell there. If you click the bell, you'll receive a notification whenever we have new videos. And if nothing else, if you can give us a thumbs up or even a thumbs down if you absolutely detest this video because you are not doing one meal a day. Hey, it is what it is. Everyone has an opinion. So thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, health is wealth.